Just wanted to start with a little bit about me so you have some context. This obviously came up from ChatGPT. It captures the essence of me with the lifestyle that I love to lead, with yoga, with all my medicines, with whole foods. It's the holistic approach that I follow myself that I talk to when I'm talking to clients. So I'm a mother of two and a grandmother of one. I've been a nutritional therapist for 9 years, and as Anthony said at the beginning, we change careers. I changed my career. So I was in IT for many years, and it was never my passion. It was never really what I wanted to do, but it just fit in, and I fell into it, and I couldn't get out of it for years until I realized, okay, my life is more than just what I do. I have to live a life doing something that I'm really passionate about. And I had my own health issues, going into perimenopause, going into depression and anxiety, and sleeping all the hours that I was given because I just didn't want to face life. So it was like perimenopause had just slapped me in the face. My hormones were all over the place, and I didn't know what to do about it. So I too, like Hamza, I had to figure out what was going on because nobody else could tell me. When I went to the doctors, it was, here's some antidepressants. And it's not what I wanted to take. I've never been somebody who pill pops. I knew there was a different way, and I had to find that way myself. So as I started to change my lifestyle, started to eat very differently, started to do lots of yoga, and I completely changed my lifestyle around, I started to notice something shifting within me. I was getting stronger, I was healing, I wasn't depressed anymore, and I felt, right, I've got to tell other women about this, especially, I work with men too, but especially women in perimenopause, that this isn't the end of your life. Because for me, while I was in that journey, it very much felt like this is the end of my life. I'm never going to be happy, and this is just how I'm going to live the rest of my life. And I accepted it as that's how my life was going to go, until I started making these changes and I realized nutrition had a huge impact on me. And it was really important for me to shout about this and tell everybody. So then I went to study nutrition and get a qualification. So this talk today is more from a student perspective. I don't know there are any students in here, but hopefully everybody will get something from this. So what do people think I actually do? Just tell people what to eat. That's a part of it, but it's not the main part. Actually, that comes down further down the line. In reality, what it is, it's one of the fastest growing fields in health and well-being because it's built on conversation, the psychology behind it, and science. And it's not built on the meal plans that you give. That can never be the answer because, let's face it, we can put that into ChatGPT and get a meal plan, right? But you don't get what goes on behind the scenes, which I'll go to in a second. What we're really looking at when a client comes to us is we're looking at all the things behind what they think they're coming to see me for. So many clients come to see me for weight loss or menopausal issues, and I'm giving them a natural solution, but I want to know what's going on underneath all of this. So I have to ask these questions like, how is their sleep? If they're not sleeping very well, then what are they going to do? They want to get a quick fix and eat sugar. That's not going to be helpful for their day. If they're stressed all the time and they're, eating junk, that's what's going to happen. If they're stressed, then their meal plans are not going to be in coherence with their body. If their work relationships are not very good, or they're working shift hours, they're just going to be eating whatever they can grab. And also the dynamic around the dining table is really important. I've had clients who aren't able to stick to a nutrition plan because of what everybody else is saying around the dining table. And also, what messages are they giving themselves? So these are really important things to listen to when I'm talking to my clients. Now, this is for students if you're looking into studying nutrition. I work in private practice, and I work along with my husband, who does the psychological aspect of our work, which is very important. But there are so many other areas that you can use nutritional therapy. If you went to study, you don't have to think it's just private practice. You can work for the GP and NHS services. you can work in corporate wellness, you can go into research, you can write and educate people, doing talks. I know of nutritional therapists who wrote recipe books, and they go into writing courses. So there are so many avenues from studying nutrition that you can go into. Now, what's the path in? First of all, you've got to qualify. You either get a degree or you get a diploma, which is accredited. I went down the diploma route because there were actually many more hours of clinic hours in the diploma than there was in the degree, which is why I chose that path. The second is you've got to get registered. Once you've qualified, you've got to get registered with the professional body, because that's what sets you apart from somebody else who calls themselves a nutritionist. In my almost 10-year career, the number of people I've come across who call themselves a nutritionist, but they don't have a qualification, and I will ask them, where did you study? They'll say, well, this is just through my own research. So you've got to get registered with a professional body. It gives you the credibility, and it gives your clients the confidence in you as well to work with you. Then you go into practicing, in whichever field you choose. So what makes a good practitioner isn't just getting the qualification and registering, it's actually your curiosity with people, asking those questions. So if you're not a people person, maybe this isn't the right path for you, but you've got to be really interested in people. You have to listen between the lines at what they're saying. What they think is going on can be very different to when you're really listening. It's called active listening. You're not just listening to respond, but you're listening to actually understand what's going on underneath what they're saying. And so if you like science, because science does play a big part in what I do with all the research that I do, and you like people, that combination can be really good for you. So the old message was try harder. But how many people here have tried to stick to a diet plan? Or you decided you want to sleep more because your sleep is being affected? Or you want to exercise, but you don't stick to it, right? You might be able to stick to it for about, a month, 2 months, but then you fall off, because that's where this nutrition gap actually fills, understanding what doesn't stick and what I can help you make stick in your life. So restriction isn't the answer, willpower isn't the answer, and following a plan without that support isn't the answer. It's actually that personalised support. That's why you work with somebody, to get that support, the accountability, that the monthly or weekly sessions that you have actually build on what you've learned previously. So without that accountability, there's no goal for you. You don't know where you're going. So having that regular meeting with your practitioner is really, really important. So there are lots of opportunities with this, where you can go into private practice, as I said, workplace wellness, product innovation. There's so many things that you can do, but you've got to be really interested in helping people. So I can't end this without talking about AI, because it's there, and I don't feel that it replaces what nutritional therapists do. I actually feel that it enhances what we do. So to give you an example, I was working with somebody yesterday, and yes, meal plan I can produce in a few seconds by the things that I put into the plan. But what it can't get is why she's exhausted in the morning, because she's eating quite well. I think she put her own plan in and she's following some kind of plan, but she's absolutely exhausted. So what ChatGPT can't understand is, why is she exhausted? And it's only through talking to her and listening I understood that she's waking up earlier. It can be something so simple, but ChatGPT can't get that, or Claude, or whoever. It's only through talking and understanding we can actually understand what's going on underneath. The psychology behind it, the science behind it, comes in when you're having these conversations, building the relationship between you and the client. And that's what makes it really interesting for me. You have to be like a detective when you're working. So we notice things that happen in that client's life, which ChatGPT doesn't. But it can make our lives a lot easier. So we can become, what I found yesterday, it was the first time I'd actually used ChatGPT, and I didn't need to take any notes, which was brilliant, which made my listening even more acute, because normally when a client's speaking, I'm feverishly writing down and trying to capture everything they're saying. For the first time yesterday, I didn't need to do that. AI took down all the notes, and then and everything that I said as well, so I could produce that plan really effectively for that client. So actually, it really enhances what I do, and I'm really excited to use it. That's what I wanted to say, just pass on that message about how nutrition is actually really necessary in this day and age where everybody's very stressed and everybody has different goals. And if you're thinking of studying nutrition, which I don't know if anybody here is, it's a brilliant route to go down. But if you want to have a chat, even to talk about your own health, I'm more than happy to talk to you, and I've got one of the stands out there. Thank you very much. I'm Jay from Soul Nourish.